Okay, so today we're going to be talking about volume and surface area of a cylinder. Now, a cylinder is a solid with two parallel circular end faces and a uniform circular cross section. Each end face is called a base of the cylinder. So we have a base here and a base here. Its radius is called the base radius. So if we take this value over here, and it's given to us as the radius, notice over here as well, the radius. That's known as the base radius. And then the perpendicular distance between the two bases is called the height of the cylinder. So here we have the height, and if we're looking at the net of the cylinder, again, we'll notice the base radius, and we'll notice the two bases. Now, while you're taking a look at the net, what you should probably think about is, do you think that the two circular bases can be at any other positions besides the ones indicated? Do they always have to be at this location? All right, so a cylinder can be considered as a prism whose base is an n-sided polygon where n is very large. So what you can do is think about the volume of a cylinder as the base area times the height, similar to the other polygons. Now, what we're going to focus on right now is the base area itself. This shape, although it doesn't look like it, and certainly after I circled it, makes a circle. And what we're going to do is do that over and make something more circly. There we go, that's much better. Now, how do we find the area of a circle? All right, so there's the area of our circle. And then we also have the height. So then the volume of a cylinder is going to be equal to pi r squared h. Keep that in mind as we're working through these problems. All right, so that represents the volume of a cylinder. But what about the surface area of a cylinder? Well, what we're going to do here is kind of use an example. And if you were to take a can and take that item, cut the top and the bottom, and cut right down the middle, what you'll notice is that, again, we have the net of a cylinder over here. Now, if you take a look at the net, again, we have one circle here, and we can find the base area this way. One circle here, find the base area that way. What do you think this distance is? If you think about that, it'll help you to figure out how to find the surface area. And then you might also want to think about this distance over here on the right. So when we put those values together, you'll notice that your longer distance is actually the circumference of the circle. And then the other length is the height. So that if we're trying to put this all together to create the surface area of a cylinder, we're going to have the area of the curved surface, which is really the area of a rectangle, with the circumference times the height plus 2 times the base area. So in more fancy terms here, how do we find the circumference of a circle? We find it 2 pi r, and then so our total surface area is going to be 2 pi r, which is the circumference, this distance over here, times the height, which then gives us the surface area of this rectangle, plus 2 times the base area. And the base area represents this circle over here and this circle over here. So that's going to be 2 pi r squared. Now we have the volume and the surface area. What we're going to do next is take a look at the example. The base radius of a solid cylinder is 3 centimeters, and its height is 8 centimeters. Find the volume of the cylinder and the total surface area of the cylinder. So first thing we're going to do is draw a cylinder. And, oh my goodness, here we go, let's try this again. Cylinder, cylinder. All right, there we go, good enough. Okay, so the base radius is 3, and its height is 8. All right, that's more than enough information. So first thing I want to do is find the volume of the cylinder, and the volume is equal to pi r squared h. So the volume is equal to pi times 3 squared, which is the radius of the base, times the height, which is 8. And that's going to equal 72 pi cubic centimeters. Now, I could use the pi button on my calculator, and that would get me a large number, and I would need to round to 3 significant figures. But since I was asked to leave my answer in terms of pi, I'm just going to go ahead and leave that value there. Now what I need to do is find the total surface area. So the total surface area, if we remember, is 2 pi r. So let's take that net, and we're going to create the circumference of the cylinder times the height. And then we're going to add on the 2 circles. So plus 2 pi r squared. All right, so the total surface area of the cylinder then is going to be 2 pi times 3 times 8 plus 2 pi times 3 squared. Be careful with the order of operations, what's going to happen first. And that's going to leave me with 66 pi centimeters squared. All right, so we have the volume of a cylinder and the total surface area of the cylinder.